Hi, I am Rick with PLP Battery, and today we're going to talk about installing our 6-position switch, a 697013, in a Schumacher charger. This happens to be a model SE4020 that has a 6-position switch with what we call, or what is called, a twist lock. It is relatively easy to identify because if you look at it from the inside, you can see this little tab, and from the front you see a little hole where the tab is kind of exposed. So before you start on this, it's relatively simple. You only need a few hand tools. You may need a multimeter whenever you're doing the wire installation. You'll need some needle nose pliers to pull those terminals off of the tabs on the back of the terminal. You'll need a wrench. In this case, it's a 9/16 that we use to attach the panel nut on the new switch, and you'll need the teeny weeny screwdriver to tighten the set screw in the new switch's knob. So that's all you need to have. The way to tear into this thing is, once you have all the wires off the back and you got them labeled so you know where they're going to go on the new switch, to remove this one, it's a pretty simple matter of depressing right there. There's a little tab sticking through, and that is literally just this little tang that you see on this old switch that I have here. You're just going to push that down just a little bit, and then as soon as you get it down far enough, if you're putting some twist pressure on the back, it'll start to rotate and you can get it out of there. If I can put the pressure on, there we go. So once you've got it clear of that little detent hole, just pull the knob off so it'll come out the hole and rotate it, and you can actually see these ears rotating, and then that's all it is. It's about, I would call that maybe 30 or 40 degrees rotation, and then out it comes. That's the old one out. To install the new one, normally with this switch, with our 6-position, 5-position, all the switches, you need to drill holes on either side of the brass threaded bushing that it mounts with. Those holes that you drill, we provide a template in the kit, but those holes are where these little tabs would protrude through the panel and prevent this thing from rotating. Because whenever you're applying, twisting force to the switch, if there's nothing to keep it from turning, all that nut has to do is loosen up just a little bit and it'll twist. What you do not want to do is you do not want to install one of these things without drilling those two little holes for these tabs to sit in. If you do, and you tighten the nut down, what can happen is, just like a screw jack, it'll pull on that bushing and it'll basically pull the switch apart. You'll tear the face, the metal plate, right off of it. So don't destroy your switch, drill the holes, do it like you're supposed to, and this thing will give you great service. So in this case, we get really lucky. It's part of the reason I chose this one for demonstration. With the twist and lock, because the way they punch the hole in the face of the cabinet, it already has a couple of notches that this thing will fit right into. So all we have to do is make sure that we've got the off position on the knob lined up properly. And in this case, all we have to do is make sure we put it in like this with the knob facing down, because off on the cabinet is right there. And it fits right in there and is not going to rotate or go anywhere. So all we have to do is install it like that, put the panel nut on. There's also a washer that comes with it. I'm not messing with that right now. Put that on, tighten it up a little bit. You don't want to get too aggressive on tightening these things up, because it's soft brass, it can strip. So let's not tear it up. Tighten it down, snug. The washer is a crushable star washer, so you'll kind of get a feel for where to stop. Then put the knob back on, teeny weeny screwdriver, and then tighten up that set screw on the knob. I need 3 hands. Once that's tight and you have reconnected all the wires on the back where you're going to need to, and you will need to connect every single one of those terminals, by the way. You are done. It'll be better than new. That's all there is to mounting one of these things. Again, if you're not replacing one of these kind of switches that has the little notches punched in the cabinet for those ears, those twisting ears, then you're going to have to drill holes in this thing. So you'll need a power drill, you'll need a 1/4 inch or 3/16 bit, I can't remember what it calls for, but it's something about that size. And you'll drill those little holes in accordance with the little template, and then you'll be all set and good to go. So if you don't have this, drill holes. If you do have this, yay. And that's all there is to it. If you have any questions about any of this, you can call us, PLP Battery Supply at 800-642-3451. I'm Rick, thanks for your time.